Hey guys, hope everyone's ready for another video in the series we like to call Underrated Throwers. Hope everyone's gonna have a good Christmas. I know that's next week. I'm gonna be making a video next week. I think maybe after Christmas. But today we got Nick Scarvelis, very personal to me in terms of I competed against him several times and competed in one of his last meets. Where obviously I got embarrassed. It was in at Occidental College, and it was a last chance qualifier for the World Championships. And this was my first year post collegiate, so I was I think 4 weeks out from graduating college, and I was I just got in. I think it was my second or first week back training, and I was only doing stand throws, and my coach texted me and was oh, by the way, I signed you up for a meet against Darrell Hill and Nick Scarvelis because you need at least 3 people to make it sanctioned to count towards World Championship qualifying. So that was a shock, and I threw 14.29, which was almost 2 to 3 meters down on my PR. So I got utterly embarrassed. Not that my PR wouldn't have been embarrassed anyway, but yeah. Anyway, and I compete against him several times. He coaches right now at San Diego, so I see him a lot nowadays during season and whatnot. So he's a good guy. Really like him. Good coach, and obviously a fantastic athlete. Went to UCLA, turned pro 2016. Competed for the Greek national team. He's the Greek national record holder, both indoor and outdoor. Outdoor best of 21:05 and indoor best of 20:38. So really, really good. Was a three-time Pac-12 champion in shot put and 1 time in discus. Finished 4th in the 2016 NCAA championships. And has the 4th best mark in UCLA history for shot put, which is insane, with a throw of 20.61. So already really good. He's a 2016 Olympian, finishing 27th in the Olympics. So didn't make the final, sadly, but just saying you're Olympian, really good. Also World Championship qualifier in 2022, where he finished 25th as well. That was in Eugene. Also 3-time Euorpean Championship qualifier. Finalist. My bad. Finalist. 2-time outdoor, 1 time indoor. I'll link all this in the video description and whatnot. But yeah, really, really good. Really good. Love his technique. Obviously, to throw 21 meters, you got to throw far. Also coached by the legendary John Frazier. Has a height of 6'1". If I find his weight, I will put that in the video description as well. And overall, fantastic person, fantastic athlete, fantastic coach. Doing a really good job at San Diego. And, yeah, really good. So let's get into this. So this is him at Chula Vista, throwing 2018. I was going to do his PR throw, but it was filmed at probably the worst angle ever to film a right-handed thrower. So I decided to do this one because it would just be a lot easier to analyze. So that's why I'm doing it. This video, still 2018. That's not a bad throw. You'll get the picture of it. This obviously, isn't his best throw ever. But, when you're at this kind of level, a lot of your throws pretty much look the same. So, with some minute differences. So, there are some stuff that I personally think he could do better, whether I'm right or wrong. And Nick, I don't know why you would be watching my videos, but, if you do, I do apologize if I offend. Nothing but love. So, I'm going to try not to be offensive because I do love almost everything you do in this technique. I just think, and I didn't really study your PR throw to see if you do it a little differently, but I'm just critiquing based on this video. All right. So let's just play this a couple times just to get you an idea. So very snappy, Very linear style technique. Really love. I think out the back is probably my favorite part of his throw. And also the way he gets over the toe board is probably the two things that really stand out. That linear punch that he gets, really, really love that. All right, so right here, let's get into this. So winds, weight evenly distributed, so both feet even weight distribution. Oh my goodness, what did I just do? Oh, okay. Sorry. He's not leaning over the leg. Some people do that. Some people lean over the right leg. I personally don't like that. I feel like it leads to inconsistencies because it's going to be harder to get over your left. But however, if it's just a lot more comfortable and you're consistent with it, by all means, do whatever you feel like is good for you. All right, but really just like level wind, relaxed, shoulders not up, like shoulders down, relaxed, nice, easy wind, hips connected, and then gets here. Really love how he reaches a little bit out. It's very subtle, but he completes this 180 turn. I'll see a lot of people, especially beginners, they try and turn immediately out, like right as they get here, instead of turning all the way here, getting this really, let me get a straight line, getting this really nice right here. This textbook, what I say, getting over the left. Armpit over knee over toe. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Long left arm, really nice and relaxed, really patient. The right foot comes off at when the left foot's at 90, really good. Gets this really good reverse V, as the great Vestinus Dyson calls it. I just call it, stretching the groin. So the knees why do I keep doing that? The knees as far apart as possible creates a tremendous stretch reflex in your groin. Really gets the hips activated and the hips separated. And if you do this correctly, you're going to feel a big stretch. Gerd Cantor is probably the best at doing this in history. But Nick is doing a fantastic, fantastic job doing this. And you see how his foot comes out and then out towards the camera. All right, so it goes side and then out. So let me get this line. It goes dun, dun. All right, really nice. So his knee's not coming in. Excuse me. Once your knee comes in, you lose this stretch. Your hips become disconnected and become inverted, and you become super upper body dominant. So it's important to keep these knees separated. All right. So really nice here. If I recorded this with noise, you'll hear like his foot scraping off, and it's gonna sound like he's slipping or look like he's slipping, but he's not. What he's doing right here is he's pushing. He's using his right leg to help him push linear over his left as he's turning his left. And what that does is, it helps him get over his left. Two, it really makes his hips a lot more connected, because instead of his left side doing the whole entire work, now both his hips are working together as one. And so that's going to help him keep his hips really connected. So you'll see if people don't do this correctly, their hip will be back here, and then their sweep leg will be all the way back here by the time their left foot is in like this position. So if you take a long time for your sweep to get around, that's not a good thing. All right, that means your hips are disconnected and you're not going to be stacked, and you're going to be really slow. You're not going to produce power in the hips. You're going to become super upper body dominant to try and speed yourself up because you feel like you're going to fall, or a whole bunch of host of other troubles. So it's really good that he does this. Really, really nice. And you notice he's not too far over. Like, you're not reaching that far over. Because if you go too far over your left, you're just going to stop. All right? So you want enough where you can be balanced. I always say you want enough weight on your left leg where you can just pick up your right foot and you're not moving side to side. If you can do that, you probably have enough weight over your left. All right? So really nice here. Notice how he's leading with the groin on his sweep leg. Left foot stops left sector. Really like that. All right. And the foot could be a little more dorsiflexed. Doesn't really matter because he gets it dorsiflexed when he gets here. This is I kind of don't really like is that he kind of goes up just a little bit, so he gets a little too much airtime and kind of reaches for the ground. This is something I kind of did in my throw as well, which was a big detractor of mine that I could just never figure out how not to do. Really like this left arm though, and the chest holding, but I think if he just didn't raise, it's very very subtle. But I think if he just didn't land so tall, he'd be able to get just a little bit more legs into it. But I really like the way he turns through it. I also think because he lands kind of tall and gets a little too much airtime, he loses a little bit of that rotational energy. So it makes it a little harder to turn his right. So you see when his left foot grounds, he's kind of open. So this honestly kind of looks like Tom Walsh a little at the front. Except Tom Walsh would be, like, his right foot would be facing here instead of there. So, I mean, he gets his hips turns and he still pushes against the ground and gets a fantastic release. But you see how left foot lands here and reverses, and when he reverses, his right foot lands here. So that means that he kind of under-rotated a little bit and could have rotated a little bit more, stayed a little more grounded. But I mean, that's very nitpicky. I mean, this is still really fantastic. And, it gets the job done. He still ends up in a fantastic position. It could have just been, in my opinion, just a little bit better. But really nice. I really love this block. Honestly, really reminiscent of Tom Walsh in many ways. From the middle to the front. Really nice block here. So, gets here, long left arm, never lets the shot stop. And honestly, like, this looks almost exactly like Tom Walsh at the front, which is actually very weird because they do not throw very similar at all. But I guess they kind of do in many ways. I actually just noticed that. Interesting. Like, if you told me this was Tom Walsh, I'd believe it, honestly, because that looks like picture perfect image of Tom Walsh's release. And Tom Walsh is one of my favorite throwers ever, so really love that. Really love how he's getting over the toe board. All right? And then attacks the front. Really love that. Slams into the toe board, really uses the toe board. Reverses, easy save. Really nice. It's just a little hoppy for my taste. Again, like, it's not the end of the world. Like, he's a supremely gifted athlete, so he can get away with this. Because, he's just so explosive and obviously a super gifted athlete. So, like, when you're like that, when you're that guy, I guess you can just get away with a little stuff like this. Obviously, also, this isn't his best throw ever. So, this could have just been an actual technical mistake. Because in his PR throw, from what I can remember, he was a little less hoppy and turned a little more through it. So, I think this is a little reason. He just under-rotated just a little bit and, just took a little distance off. But that's a minute critique. I would say the back of the ring, no complaints. Like, honestly, I don't know what I would change out the back. I really love this out the back. Really love this. All right. So, overall, fantastic throw, fantastic thrower, fantastic person. Had the pleasure of talking to him, pick his brain a couple of times. I hope to do so this season as well. I'll probably see him at a couple meets. Pleasure competing against him. Although I was really a non-factor in a lot of the comps I was against him in. I was more there just as like a placeholder. But yeah, other than that, I'll link his height, weight, personal best, and notable accomplishments in the video description. And thanks for watching, and see y'all later. Have a good day.